guys, I'm back to another video. So today I'm going to do a Q&A video for you guys because I asked if you guys had any questions for me and some of you did, so I'm going to answer them for you. And I'm going to do it in my completely naked state because I think I'm going to film a tutorial after this. So yeah, here we go. So I'll do Snapchat first because I only got 2 questions from there. The first question comes from my friend Riley because he's selfish and he asked, who do you still talk to from high school? You, Riley. I only talk to you. I was like, I don't talk to anyone else from my high school. Most of them I didn't even like, so you're the only one. Are you happy? The next question was from this lovely lady who had been talking to me for a very long time as well. She asked, would you ever try or would you ever do makeup modeling? I don't know. I'm not really much of a model. I did like that one photo shoot that's on my Instagram if you guys have seen, and I'm gonna do another photo shoot in a couple of weeks for something else that hopefully will be a lot of fun. But I don't know. I'm not really I'm not really in those like model standards. Like if you look at a very typical like runway model, I don't really fit that aesthetic. Like purely like from this, I don't fit that aesthetic. But also I'm really short and I'm not super skinny, so like I don't really fit runway aesthetics. But fashion aesthetics I kind of do, but I don't know. I'm kind of weird in front of a camera. Like when it's not like this, it's, I don't know, I feel like I look weird in photos. I don't know. Moving on to Instagram, the first question comes from this lovely lady and she asks, what is one makeup product you cannot live without? I love you so much. I love you too. And probably the product that I can't live without, if you guys have watched my videos for a long time, you probably could make some pretty good guesses. Probably the Morphe 35B palette at this point, because that's just literally a product that I use every single day without fail. Like, there's not a day where I don't use that palette. So, probably that one, I'd say. Because you can use eyeshadow to do a lot of things, and that palette's got like everything in it. So I could do like probably a full look just using that eyeshadow palette. The next question comes from this lovely lady and she asks, what kind of sandwich would you be and why? I don't know. I've been thinking about this for a couple of minutes, like trying to decide, and I feel like it would be some kind of grilled cheese because that's my favorite kind of sandwich. So I feel like I'd be a grilled cheese. I could be like a rainbow grilled cheese. They make rainbow bread, don't they? I've seen them make rainbow bagels, so I bet you they make rainbow bread. That, a rainbow grilled cheese. The next question comes from this lovely lady and she asks, how long would you say it takes you to create a look like this? And that was on my Instagram post, so it was the one with the white like scales and the really white face. That look takes me like an hour and a half to 2 hours, like it takes me anywhere from like an hour and 15 to 2 hours kind of thing, like depends on like if I know what I'm doing when I start. Anyways, it depends if I like know the direction I'm going when I start, because if I know the direction I'm going, I can like reproduce it a lot quicker. If I don't know what I'm doing, it takes me a lot longer because I'm sitting there like puddling around with ideas for hours. But that look I did know what I was doing, so it took me like I think an hour and a half, which I know does seem like a long time, but like to do those scales, like I have to outline them and then I had to fill them in and then I blended the outline and then I had to go around the outlines and blend onto the scales to make them look more like 3D, and then I went in again and added the silver on top. So it's just like, it's a lot of repetitive, like you do everything a whole bunch of times. The next question comes from this lovely person and they ask, when did you start thinking about going to cosmetology school? I technically am not in cosmetology school actually, I'm just in makeup school. Cosmetology like covers everything. Like I'm not a cosmetologist. Someone that would be a cosmetologist, someone that knows about everything, that they know about hair, nails, makeup, like skin, like they know like all the sciencey stuff, which I don't. But I thought about going to makeup school like, I think when I was in like grade 11, so like kind of like in the middle of high school, was kind of when I started to get really good at makeup, and I was like, hey, like maybe I could turn this into a career. And I actually emailed the college that I'm at right now, just being like, hey, like, do you think, can I like register this early, or like, I just like wanted to talk to you guys and see like what was going on. And the administrators there were like, yeah, like just like message us in like a year when you're graduated and we'll get you in, like we'll get you going. So that's what I did. The next question comes from this lovely person, and they ask, what is your inspiration for your creative makeup looks? I get this question a lot because at work they ask us every day when we go, like, what's your inspiration today? Like, what inspired your looks? And honestly, there's nothing really specific that inspires me. Like, I just kind of pull things out of my brain. Like, sometimes I'll be like on Pinterest and I'll see a photo of something and I'm like, oh, I really like that, or I like one aspect of something that was in that photo, and then I take that and just kind of will completely make it my own. So like to almost the point where you usually can't even tell that I got the idea from them because it's that different, because that's obviously what I want. So inspiration, I guess, would just be other artists slash myself, I guess. This is Coco, by the way. She's the one that's making all the noise. That's my roommate's dog. The next question comes from this lovely person, and they ask, when did you start wearing makeup this bold? To the extent of its boldness now, it started when I started working at NYX, because they were a really big push for me for some reason, because like they have all these cool like theme days, which you guys have kind of seen in my last couple of videos. They have theme days every Friday, so they were trying to really push us to be really creative, and it really like kicked me in the butt in a really good way, and it ignited this like extra little bit of creativity that I didn't know was there yet. So that was only, I started there in like March. The next question comes from this lovely person, and they ask, are you gonna stay in Vancouver or are you gonna move back to Alberta? I am staying the fuck here. I am never going back. There's nothing for me in Alberta. It's not a place that I belong. I don't fit in there. I just never feel very comfortable when I'm there. It's a weird thing to describe to people, but if you are from a really small town and you're really like me in that small town, like you grew up in that really conservative small town with a lot of really closed-minded people, and like you're someone that's like me, you know, you get the feeling like I always just like sometimes didn't even really feel safe in a way. Like I would never walk outside with the makeup looks that I wear in Vancouver, in Alberta, ever. Like there's no way. So that, I mean, even that kind of shows you like I just don't fit in there, and I fit in much better here, so I want to stay here. The next lovely person asks, at what age did you start wearing makeup? I think when I was like 13 or 14 maybe. Next question comes from this lovely person, and they ask, hey, first of all, I love you so much and I adore your confidence. I hope I get to meet you one day. My question is, how are you so confident, and has anyone ever given you a hard time about your appearance? How did you deal with it? Love you. I love you too. And I would love to meet. Side note, I would love to meet some of you guys someday. Like I know that you guys live like everywhere, and I just like want to meet all of you because I feel like you guys are just like special to me. You're like my little family. My little family of peeps. People used to give me a hard time about my appearance all the time. Not so much in Vancouver. I find that people here are much more accepting of me and the way that I want to look. But especially back at home, like people, especially in my high school, like in my high school, I only got into the level where I like colored my eyebrows bright colors. Like that was as far as I got in high school. Purely, I think, because that environment just wasn't very good for creativity. Like the environment has such a big thing to do with being creative, and I just think that it wasn't a very positive environment to be in. But anyways, people would make fun of me in my high school for my colored eyebrows. Like, I can only imagine what they would think if they saw me now. But like people used to make fun of me all the time. Like I would see people like pointing at me as I was walking down the hallway and like snickering at me. And people just stare at me all the time. And it's like, it's honestly just something you kind of get used to. Like people stare at me all the time, and like I'm not mad that people stare, because like if I was looking at someone that looked like me, I would probably stare. It's when people glare that I have a problem. It's when people turn their noses up at me or look down at me like as if they're better than me, or they kind of look at me like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Kind of like they give you those kinds of looks. Those are looks that do get to you. Like they do bother you every once in a while, and they do bother me. Like there are certain days where I notice it a lot more, and I notice when people are staring at me, and it's just like, it does make me kind of uncomfortable. But it's kind of just something that I've learned to deal with, because that's what comes along with being an artist. That's what comes along with being, this is gonna make me sound really, really full of myself, but this is what happens when you are unique and you try and step out of that box and outside of that like societal little mold. People stare. People aren't used to seeing people that are different, and people unfortunately usually react in a negative way to things that are different. So honestly, I've just kind of learned to deal with it. I don't notice it when I'm walking places. I keep my eyes straight and I just walk. People get out of my way because I just walk, and like I just don't look at anything. And it is hard. Believe me, it is hard. But it's what I feel is a necessary part. It's a necessary thing that I have to do and I have to go through to be who I want to be and to express my creativity the only way that I know how. So yeah, I don't know if that answered your question at all. I'm gonna go read it real quick because that might have just been a real long side rant about whatever. And like, to answer your question as to how I'm confident in my looks, I just try the hardest not to care. Like most of the time even forget what I'm wearing on my face. Like especially if it's like after work and I'm like walking home. It's not, the last thing on my mind is that, you know, half my face is blue kind of thing. The best way to have confidence is to just kind of say fuck it. Like you have to stop caring about what other people think, because as soon as you start caring about other people's opinions over your own opinions, you've lost. That's enough. Like, it's over. You have to value your opinion more than everyone else's when it comes to your appearance and how you feel about yourself, because your opinion is the only one that matters, and I don't care what anybody says. Individuality is such a big thing for me, and being the person that you want to be is so important, because I've dated people in the past that have wanted me to change the way that I looked. Like, they wanted me to look more like normal. They wanted me to like take my piercings and wear more normal makeup and not dye my hair, and like, it is really hard to hear that from people that are supposed to be supporting you and people that you're supposed to be in a relationship with, telling you that they don't like the way that you are, they think that you could look better, and it's just like, it hurts. It's not a fun time. So another side, like, to add to this, another huge part of having confidence in yourself is surrounding yourself with people that support you for who you are. As soon as you lose that circle of people that support you, it's a lot harder to keep that confidence up, because you don't have those extra opinions being like just supporting you, because like people, I'm getting myself starting to cry. When it comes to just like humans as a species, all we want is to be accepted by someone. All we want is to feel that we're protected and that we are accepted for who we are by somebody. Even if it's just one person, everyone wants to be accepted. So surrounding yourself with people that truly appreciate you as a person and truly appreciate, especially in my case, people that truly appreciate my art and people that truly appreciate just the way that I want to be as a person, is such a big thing. And it's funny because it's something I never realized until I was living here. Sorry. It's something I didn't realize until I started living here, how important it is for the people around you to accept you for who you are and to be supportive of what you want to do. It helps an incredibly large amount to have people around you. Sorry, I didn't mean to start crying. I just get really worked up about this issue because it's just something that's affected me for a really long time and something that I'm still trying to deal with. So, my apologies. But yeah, So having that circle of people that support you helps immensely. Like, you never realize how much it helps until it does. So to all the people in Vancouver that have supported me, you know who you guys are. I love you guys to death, and I don't know what I would do without you at this point. I should thank you guys too, to be honest, because all of your guys' wonderful comments that you leave me on everything, even you guys like liking my Instagram photos, it's just really important to me, and it just really shows that you guys care and like support my art. And like, I've had you guys protect me when someone's trying to trash me or like trying to say bad things about me. All of you guys swoop in right away to protect me, and I just really appreciate it, because it's just nice to know that people that have never met me in real life support who I am and what I want to do. So thank you to all of you that have ever done that, or even just people that are watching my videos, or people that have liked me on Instagram or followed me on Instagram. Like, I appreciate all of you very, very much. The next question came from this person, and I'll just put it here, so I basically answered the question already. Just like, how do you wear your makeup and not let opinions bother you? It's just a thing. To add to it just a little bit quickly, I've noticed as I've gotten older, the older you get, the less fucks you start to give. And I know people say that, but it's true. The older you get, the less, it's honestly the less you have time to give a fuck about anything. I do so much stuff in my daily life, I don't have time to sit back and just like be sad about people making fun of me, or, you know, I just don't have time for it. So if any of you are looking for a reason to make it to tomorrow, it really does get better. As you get older, you stop giving a fuck. It's not even that you learn to deal with it, you just stop caring, because you just don't have the time to care anymore. It just becomes something that's not important to you anymore, because everything else becomes important, because life becomes important. But yeah, I'm sorry I started crying in that video. I didn't mean to. That had not been the intentional plan at the beginning when I sat down. But it happened. I hope this meant something to you guys. I hope you enjoyed having your questions answered. I hope you enjoyed my answers. If you have any other questions you'd like to ask me, just leave them in the description, or leave them on my social media, or do whatever. Everything's in the description, because I'm sure I'll make another one of these videos in the future. But I think that's about it. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!